Hi, I'm Joan Newcomb, and today's morning musings is Pictoral History. I'm doing a series of daily morning musings, and I'm using posts from my blog, Adventures in Density and Effort, as inspiration. Now, I wrote these a while ago, and the world has completely changed since then. So if I encounter anything that is out of date, I will give you the most recent information. At the end, I will summarize the topic based on what's going on in the world today. Also, I have some special offers, so stay tuned to the very end to see what they are. Pictoral History. I've been sorting through hundreds or more of family photographs. They're from the 1920s onward. Sifting through them, you gain a feeling of the people in these photos as they grow from chubby infants to grinning toddlers to smiling but tired adults and seniors. This one was taken when they got their first tooth. This one happened when his wife was dying. Energetically, we're made up of pictures. As we come into physical form, we are creating and absorbing pictures. We view the world through our perceptions, but they're organically part of us as well. Stuck impressions can create physical discomfort that can lead to manifestations of painful ailments over time. I'm fortunate that my mother still remembers most of these people in the pictures, although neither of us can recall the name of the cat we had in 1974. As my mom's Alzheimer's continues, it's as if those picture files are being erased from her brain's hard drive. She's either in the present moment or instantly in 1946, depending on the memory that's jogged. What's interesting to realize is that some of the details are distorted. One of her stories is that my father gave away a bunch of important children's books, and yesterday I remember it was my mother who gave them to a friend in high school. We rewrite our personal history and sometimes even delete or add characters to the scene. I'm going to stop for a moment because actually that's not right. My father gave away a bunch of children's books that my two older brothers would have had, and my mother gave away some Dr. Seuss books that would have been purchased later when my younger brother and I were children. I was going to say we had these classics for children's comic books, but I remember seeing them so clearly they weren't given away in Germany because that's when I was an infant. It doesn't mean that other details aren't distorted, just that one. Back to the blog. Emotions color our mental image pictures. We hold on to resentments and pain, and it distorts the storyline. We can embellish our childhoods or marriages and making them happier than they really were as well. In releasing the untruths about our past, we are left with what is. And what is, is. After we die, that's what we're left with. The essence of who we are. The pure energy that flowed through our lives is what is retained. And the distortion disintegrate. In physical form, we're frightened to see what is without our story. We're afraid that if we do that, we'll all see that it is not. On the other hand, our essence loves what is because we see all it is, everything. Acceptance of what is leads us to embracing the all, in becoming neutral to the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune, in letting go of the drama of our past. We can open up to the greatness of it all. It opens us up to infinite possibilities of now. Every person you come into contact with is a walking gallery of pictures and emotions. Holidays are especially charged times because gatherings with families bring in entire libraries of matching or mismatching pictures and impressions. Start by deciding to not react dramatically to anything that is said or done, even if it seems dramatic. At parties or meals, choose to be a half step above the set energy level, or imagine watching it from a director's chair. You can be involved but not engaged. Or you can dive into it with the gusto of a seasoned actor, fully aware of the part they're playing. It can be fun. So try this for the next week and see what happens. So one of the things I was reflecting on is how this is very prevalent in the world today, especially we are going through this evolution of consciousness, and all of us are being imbued with greater light as consciousness. And those of us who are able to let go of our pictorial history are able to adjust and make changes a lot more easily and somewhat less painfully than those who are clinging to those past pictures. You can also see people who have clung to their past pictures and they've romanticized them. Honestly, no. The 1950s or even the 1970s were not a really great time to be a woman or to live in as somebody without a lot of funds. There were a lot of people smoking and getting lung cancer. Until the mid-1970s, a woman couldn't own her own credit card or apply for a credit card without her husband's permission. They couldn't buy real estate, at least in the United States. And I believe it was Switzerland, women didn't get the vote until the mid-1980s. So it wasn't all that great back then. People just imagine it to be that way. I will say that probably maybe the best thing in the 1950s is that there was an enormously, like 90% high tax rate on millionaires back then. We sure could use that now because all those taxes would solve a whole bunch of problems. But then you think back to the 1930s, and that was an enormously scary time. There wasn't Social Security, there wasn't easily available health insurance. Yes, I am thinking primarily the United States, but the entire world was affected by an economic downturn. And it wasn't until the middle of the 1930s that they had child labor laws. So it really wasn't a safe place for a lot of people. So one of the helpful things is to be in the present moment, in present time. And when you bring your energy and your focus right into the present moment, that is the feeling of what is that I talked about. And that is where there's tremendous clarity. There's tremendous spaciousness. I used to think that bringing my attention into the present moment was going to be limiting. But when you are centered in your physical form and in the present moment, it's incredibly expansive and the opportunities are infinite. So if you like these videos, please click the like button and subscribe. And that way you're telling YouTube to share it far and wide with more people and get it to someone who really needs this information. And you can also share it on your social media and with your family and friends. And if you'd like a free sample of one of my consciousness techniques, click on the link below to the skybox technique. It'll give you a bigger perspective of your life and all that's going on in it. And if you want some manifestation techniques, Manifesting Money and Miracles is my self-study course where you can learn to embody frequencies that can create tremendous changes in your life. And if you want to know more, my website is joan-newcomb.com. There you can learn about my private sessions where I take a look at you as consciousness and all the things going on in your life. And I can answer any questions that you might have, whether it's about what's coming up in the future, jobs or relationships, money, if you're planning a move or selling or buying real estate. And I can also talk to your dead loved ones, and it's all recorded just for you. And if you want to learn how to do this for yourself, that is, navigate your life as consciousness with the help of consciousness techniques, Manifesting Money and Miracles is a great preparation for my coaching special where I work with you one-on-one and give you specifically chosen consciousness techniques so that you can transform your life. So go to my website, joan-newcomb.com, and I'll see you tomorrow in another Morning Musings.